And as soon as I saw the ultrasound, it all set in. I'm like, oh my God, I'm bringing somebody in this world. Now, this person that didn't ask to be here, this person now is my responsibility, because if I don't perform, this person don't eat. If I don't perform, this person doesn't survive. As a child, like other mammals, other mammals can be born and be okay by themselves right away. The mom and dad leave and they're okay in the jungle. A human being cannot. I can't just leave a child, in the middle of a jungle and assume they're going to survive. They won't survive.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Car Seats and Coffee. Sam Bakhtiar is in the house. I'm excited for this one, brother. Thank you so much for jumping on.
Oh, Thomas, I'm excited as well, man. Thank you. It's an honor and privilege to be on your show.
Yeah, right on, brother. So, too many people know who you are, but for the few that might not, give a little background about your story.
Man, I'm just an immigrant that came basically to the United States with $500 of luggage. I'm a single mom when I was 11. I thought I was coming to Beverly Hills, because that's what I saw on TV. I thought America was like all Beverly Hills. And but when I came to a little town called Sharon, Pennsylvania, nobody's ever heard of that. It's a little town outside of Pittsburgh, very, very low, socioeconomic status, rundown steel mills. And I grew up basically in a really bad neighborhood where my uncle had a store, which outside the store was like pimps, prostitutes, and drug dealers. Went to school. I was the only minority in school when I came to America in 1985, Sharon, PA. There was black people, there was white people, there was Sam, and, and with that being said, that's exactly, there's white people, so with that, that's basically it, growing up, I always liked to play soccer, and Sharon, Pennsylvania in 1985, nobody heard of soccer. So I'm in school, with a language that I don't speak, people that I stick out like a sore thumb, and now we don't have the sport. I tried out for the basketball team. I got cut. That was one of my biggest turning points in my life. And I want you to understand this. When I say turning points, I don't say devastation, because devastation has always been a turning point in my life. I know, I'll give you an example. If it wasn't because of war in my country, we would have never came to the United States. If it wasn't because of my dad leaving us when I was 3 years old, I would have never became the dad that I am today. If it wasn't because of getting cut from the basketball team, I would have never went to the boys club to get better at basketball and fall in love with bodybuilding and be able to, have all the gyms and all the supplement companies that I have today. So life happens for you, not against you, and at the time, if you're listening to this right now and you're going through some hard times, and you feel like, okay, this is the end. Ask yourself this: how many other times you thought it was the end before? How many other times you went through a devastation? Here's one thing I learned in life. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional.
Ooh. You say that one. You need to say that one again. People need to hear that.
Pain is inevitable. You are going to go through pain. I don't care if you're a millionaire, you're a billionaire, you're a trillionaire. I don't care if you're broke. I don't care if you're a Christian. I don't care if you're Muslim. I don't care if you're a Jew. You are going to go through pain, and that's just called life. Okay? Suffering is optional. And one thing I learned when I went to medical school is this: that pain, stress, is a necessity to life. If there was no outside stress at all, you will not survive. Okay? So a stress is needed for you to be able to be a living, functioning organism. So how you deal with it makes all the difference in the world.
Absolutely. And we were talking about, like, before we started jamming on the podcast here, we were talking about that, adding stress into your life, because everyone hears the word stress, and they run for the hills, man. They're out.
Stress is a pleasure. Stress is a necessity. Stress is for you to take and become stronger at it. Your bones get stronger by applying pressure upon them. When you get older, they say, hey, you want to make sure your bones are strong and you don't fall down and break your hip. So you need to do weight-bearing exercises. And weight-bearing exercises are just stress, okay? Your heart gets stronger by you applying demand upon them. That's why when they think that you have heart issues, they give you what? A stress test on the treadmill. They put you on an incline to see how your heart reacts to that, okay? So stress is something that you grow with. If you ever see a bone break, okay, and when it gets put back together, when the body naturally heals itself, there's calcification around the bone. Not only it fuses, it actually provides more of a cushion, more of a support, so they say it becomes stronger. You become stronger when you go through trials and tribulations. If you don't go for trials and tribulations, if anything never happened to you, you're gonna be that person that be like, oh my God, I'm stressed out because I got laundry on Wednesday.
Right.
I know people like that. I know people who are like so stressed out that because they have to do laundry on Wednesday night. And I know people who literally are going through hell and they're not even blinking.
What? Man, there's so much, brother. There's so much we want to jump into because I love that. First and foremost, like sometimes we need to break a little bit to become stronger. Is such an important message, especially for dads, right? We need to understand that it's not going to be this perfect life all the time. And you don't even want that for you or your kids, because if we create that environment where there's no stresses, no pressure, then how do we expect our children to go out into the world and perform, right?
If you chase perfection, you're always going to be unhappy. Okay? You can't chase perfection because it's a movable object. It is movable. Perfection is different. I thought perfection was the mansion that I got. I thought perfection was the Ferrari that I got. I thought perfection was a Rolls Royce that I got or the Rolex that I got. Those are not perfection. I thought, perfection was this and that. No, perfection is in your mind. I'm not saying don't get up and get better every day, but you have to also be able to say, look, nothing's ever going to be perfect. In a life, you're either in a problem, left the problem, or headed towards one. That's just life. Okay? So how you deal with it and how you overcome it and who you become as a part of it is all that's going to make of you.
So back to this, because there's so many dads that are going to listen. They're like, yeah, but I wish I had the Ferrari. I wish I had the Rolls. I wish I had, I wish I had the mansion. Let's talk about those things compared to you being a father.
Bro, nothing is more fulfilling than you bringing a child in this world and be able to program that child, parent that child, and make him the best version possible. Give him the opportunities that you didn't have. Talk to him about things that your dad or your mom missed when they were raising you. Be able to raise a functioning and a contributing member of a society. That's what life is all about. Here's my very sincere opinion. And I'm very opinionated in this, but because I know firsthand that I didn't become a man until I became a father. So for me, me being the only child, me being a bodybuilder, me being going to school, getting out, starting making some money, it was all about me. It was all about my muscles. It was all about my cars, my clothes, my swag, my clubbing, and all that kind of stuff. And then once I become a dad, all that stopped. All that stopped. All that when you start loving somebody more than yourself, when you are going to say, you know what, I'm going to put this person's needs above me. I'm going to jump in front of a bullet because, to save this person. I mean, not even, it's involuntary. It's not, you don't volunteer to jump in front of it. You just do it. It's like, it's an involuntary response. When somebody looks at my kid the wrong way, I want to rip off their face. And you know what I mean? I mean, so that's just your innate thing. Once you become a dad, things change and you become a real man. And I'm sorry if I offend you. You know what I'm talking about once you do become a man. Once you become a dad, you understand what I'm talking about. You think you're a man now, you're not.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, I couldn't agree more, brother. There was a time, so I have a 5 and a 4-year-old, both boys, right? And I had my kid at school, he's at preschool. I went to pick him up and I see another kid like push him to the ground. Bro, this is the first time I'm a grown ass man. It's the first time in my life I was like, I'm gonna destroy that little kid, dude. Like, I felt that inside, and it's like, whoa, you gotta calm down, you gotta relax. But to your point, it's this feeling that overcomes you that it's hard to equate. If you don't have children, it's hard to even put it into words, what those experiences are like, or that feeling inside. So with all your success leading up to your child, let's talk about that. Some of your perspective and some of your goals before having your child, and then now having your child. Like, what are some of those things that have shifted in your mind?
Well, let me tell you, when I first saw the ultrasound, like I said, I was a bodybuilder at the time. It was all about what time I work out, what I eat, when I train, when I tan, when I pose, what contest I'm going to do next, where I go out, And as soon as I saw the ultrasound, it all set in. I'm like, oh my God, I'm bringing somebody in this world. Now, this person that didn't ask to be here, this person now is my responsibility, because if I don't perform, this person don't eat. If I don't perform, this person doesn't survive. As a child, like other mammals, other mammals can be born and be okay by themselves right away. The mom and dad leave and they're okay in the jungle. A human being cannot. I can't just leave a child, in the middle of the jungle and assume they're going to survive. They won't survive. So I got to be responsible for this person's survival and thrival, And as soon as that happened, man, I remember I had 2 motorcycles, sold them. As much as I love them, I'm like, you know what? I can't get in an accident. So I sold those two motorcycles. I got life insurance. I grew up. I had life insurance. I'm like, oh shit. In case something does happen to me, I don't know. I'm not on a motorcycle, but something could happen to me. I can get hit by a bus. I can have a heart. Anything can happen. I don't want this kid to grow up without means. So I got life insurance, and I got serious. And I got serious about business. I got serious about performing. I got serious about being frugal with money and saving. I started a college fund 529 account. I started a growth fund, a UTMA account, and each of my child now has a 529 as soon as they were born. And so this way, I've dedicated whatever I had at the time, whether I had or I didn't have it. If I didn't have any means, it was like $100 a month. When I had, when I have the means, it's $5,000 a month. But I started the plan already for them. So right now, as we speak right now, my kids are set that their college is paid for. They're going to have plenty of extra money to start a business and all that kind of stuff they want. So I'm going to try to give them a head start in life. But you know what? I'm not going to tell them they have that money. I'm not going to be like, hey, man, you got that money coming. No, I'm not going to tell them they have that money. You know what I mean? I'm not going to, they don't know that they have that money, but I plan for them. So the biggest question I get all the time, there's like, well, Sam, how can you, now that you made it to a certain socioeconomic status, how can you, make sure you give your kids enough, but not too much? And that's something that I think all the dads struggle. Dads that have made it, if you will, financially, and one of the quotes that I love is, give your kids enough to do something, but not so much to do nothing. Okay. And I want the kids to understand that first of all, hard work. They understand hard work, persistence, resilience. But most importantly, I want them to see what I do. They don't see me on a Wednesday, like today, being in pajamas, being in front of Netflix all day, eat and watch from Netflix. They'll never see me do that. They'll never see me do that. You know what I mean? Mm. They never see me do that. So what they are going to see is, oh, dad, he has everything, but he's worked for it. Look at what he's doing. He's worked for it. Yeah, we have it because he's gone. He's working. He's doing interviews. He's looking at businesses. He's moving. He's shaking. He's reading books. He's listening to audiobooks. So I want them to put the dots together. You do this, it equates to this.
Hmm. And with that, brother, do you have like a morning routine that you like to do? Because I found that if I try to get up before my boys get up, so that I have time to reflect, do my own thing. If it's answer an email, whatever that is, but it gives you a head start before like you start interacting with them.
I have to.
Mm.
I have to. That's my anchor. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So like I was telling you before we got on the podcast, is I already worked out. Already went for a 5-mile walk.
Mm.
While I do that, I reflect, I meditate, I listen to audiobooks, I take notes while I'm, listening to audiobooks,
Mm.
so I mean, you have to have your own time for you to be able to strategize, for you to be in your zone, for you to be in your anchor.
Absolutely. And so jumping in, so tell me really quick, how old are your children? Like how old are your kids? Boy, girl?
So I have 2 girls, a
Okay.
10-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 10-month-old baby boy.
Okay. The power of 3.
Yes.
So let's talk about that difference, man, between a 10-year-old and now you have and now your newborn, your son. Like how's that? Like splitting that time and that difference?
No, it's good, man. It's good. I'll tell you, man. It's been, my kids are from 2 different marriages.
Mm.
My girls are from my first marriage, and my son is from a second marriage.
Sure.
And I'm gonna talk about a subject right now that probably a lot of dads have gone through. So when I've gone through a nasty divorce.
Mm.
And I'm going to get a little bit into it because I want to give your listeners some content. And I don't want to send this all, I'm not going to, give you all rah here,
Yeah.
right? I want your guests to get a maximum out of it, because if you're a dad, chances are, 52% chances are that you are going to go through a divorce. These are statistics.
Sure.
Jay-Z said, "Men lie, women lie, numbers don't." So I'm not. So I'm gonna tell you about all the good stuff, but I'm also going to tell you some of the stuff I've gone through, and so maybe it can resonate with some of the people that have gone through it. So when I got married in 2007, right after that, what happens? The recession. I didn't want to get married till I was like somewhat financially okay. I wasn't really financially okay. I thought I was financially okay because I was way over leveraged, just like everybody did back in the day. I had 2 homes with huge loans. Remember I had the motorcycles. I was telling you I had a couple of cars and all that kind of stuff. But I was way over leveraged. And right after that, 2008, the recession hit, and everything went down. My businesses went down. Everything went down, and it was really a bad few years for me, because my whole reason for being, because I didn't want to become that dad that didn't provide, because I had one. My dad left us, never saw him again, didn't provide. So at that time, I went through like a little, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I just got to go out there and make it happen. I remember, having a meeting in 2009 with my wife then in a restaurant, and she was pregnant with our first child. And I looked at her, she was about to bust. I looked at her, I said, "We're minus $314 in the account. We're overdrawn. I don't have any money, but let me go see what I can do. I just have to go make it." I remember I was crying in the restaurant. And she looked at me kind of in disappointment. And she goes, "Well, all those times you've been working hard and this and that, we don't have anything." And I said, "I know." And that disappointment made me realize that I will never, ever, ever put my family in that situation again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so right now with the COVID-19, we're in the middle of COVID-19, I'm good. I mean, I have no stress. Everything's paid for. I'm good. I plenty of money in the bank. I did that. But again, we have to go through pain to be able to do that. So from 2009 to 2013, I was doing horrible. I mean, I'm talking financially, I was doing horrible. My house was being foreclosed on. I had notices on my house. I didn't know if I was going to come back to the house and and somebody's going to take it away. You know, my credit got shot because I couldn't pay the, you know, the house payment. You know, I could barely afford the bills, but I was out there doing something. And let me tell you guys something here. So in life, when life punches you in the face, you really have two choices. Really, there's two choices. How you're going to do. One is to go to sit back and say, you know what, because of the economy, because of the pandemic, because of this person, because of that person, because of this circumstances, because I didn't have a dad, because I didn't have poor financial, you know, education, because they didn't teach me to college, because of all of this, I'm here, and that's why, you know, I can't bounce back. I can make excuses, I can blame other people, or I can set in my setback and say, you know what, I'm setting my setback, and I'm not gonna, I'm done. I'm done. Give up. Let life knock you out. The other alternative is very simple. Get up and do something. I don't know what, but get up and do something. Sooner or later, if you walk, you're gonna hit something. Sooner or later, if you keep swinging, you're gonna hit one ball. That's all you need to do. But if you quit swinging, you won't hit anything. So so after about a week of pity party, after probably a week of eating pizza and feeling sorry for myself, you know, I got up and I just went to work 20 hours a day, 20 hours a day for 4 or 5 years. I would come home, I would feel so defeated. I would come home mentally and emotionally detached, detached. And that was the beginning of the end of that marriage. You know, so then one day in 2014, you know, when I started seeing the end at the tunnel, like at the end of the tunnel, I was at work one day and I got divorce papers. And now I literally just got out of the one, I was able to save the house. I was able to finally figure out how to make it, make it come back. I wasn't out of the hole yet, but I was figuring it out. And then I got hit with another setback. Again, every setback God has given you is a stage for a much huge, bigger comeback. But if you don't pass the test, you won't find his blessing. Have I not got divorced? The camp wouldn't be where it is today. Have I got divorced? I wouldn't have met the love of my life now and the mother of my son. So every time you go through any kind of stuff, just understand that there's a reason for this. And you got to know that it's kind of like Deal or No Deal. Remember that show? Yeah, you can choose this or you can choose this.
Yeah.
Right? You know, all you have to do is keep going. Never, 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 never let a setback set you back.
Never let a setback set you back. I love that, brother. I love that. Do you feel, man, that's a lot, because it almost feels like, to your point, that second you felt like, there's a little bit of relaxation. I can almost take my foot off the gas for a moment. Another punch.
There is in life, it's you really can you ever really take your foot off the gas?
I don't think you should.
I mean, you either are getting better or you're getting worse. I'm not saying like work and go crazy and all that kind of stuff, but there's always going to come something. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. First, you're okay. Oh, I got to make money. I got to make money. I got to make money. I got to get this and that. Then you do that. And there's other things that are going to come up. Sometimes you're going to have marriage issues. Sometimes you're going to have, issues with your children. Sometimes you're going to have, issues with employers, things happen. For you to have let your foot off the gas and and not do anything, you might as well just go, isolate yourself from the world, and protect yourself. And we know that's not going to take you anywhere.
Sure. And I mean, in the world that you're in, like how many times do you just see people? Because it seems like everywhere, only people are focusing on money, right? They're only focusing on money when there's so many other things, you know? It's like Tim Grover always talks about
Tim.
it's energy, right? It's energy management. And it's not I mean, if you only have a finite amount of energy to give each day, like where are you pushing that?
And that, and that's so good. I love Tim Grover. He's like one
Yeah.
of my best friends, and he is so awesome. You know, the thing with that is this. Um, you know, you really need to pick your battles. You need to really, know how you're going to convert your energy and what you're going to focus on. You know, let me tell you something, man. Well, how do I want to word this? Um, Money, we don't chase money, we chase freedom.
Mhm,
Money just gives you an ability to be free, because without money you're pretty much a slave, right?
mhm,
Money just gives you the ability to be able to have freedom. But other than that, I'll tell you from firsthand experience that money doesn't bring you happiness. But it's a lot easier to be happy when you have money. Does that make sense?
absolutely.
So it's hard to be happy, or find happiness when the creditors are calling you. You know what I mean? Or you don't know if you're going to get evicted from your apartment, or you don't know if you're able to eat. It's hard to be in a happy, joyful state when you're in that thing. But money, you just need money to cover your basic necessities, right? If your basic necessities are met, you have food on the table, you have reliable transportation, and you have a roof over your head, then anything above that is a bonus and not necessarily for happiness. Basic necessities are the only thing that you need for your basic happiness. Basic happiness.
Hmm.
Other than that, everything else is a bonus.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So with that, man, just transition more into, because I to your point, I love to add a lot of value to dads that are listening. So I want to know, what are some of your favorite things to do with your children? And then the second part after that, or what are some of the things your children do that really kind of like set you off or kind of put you at the edge, you know?
Well, honestly, man, like I love just spending time with them.
Hmm.
I love listening to them, and I always wonder how are they getting that information? How are they processing that information? And for me, um, just spending time with them, taking them and seeing them develop. What are their activities? Whether it's playing soccer, whether it's going to piano lessons, whether working with them on homework. Just to me, the ability to spend time with them is such a blessing that I just take every second of that, and I cherish every second. Now, nothing really much bothers me what my kids do, but the only thing that bothers me, I would say, if I had to word, is my girls. Sometimes they kind of fight with each other,
Hmm.
and they're like, and I'm like, well, you guys are sisters, and they compete and fight and and all that kind of stuff, and that bothers me. Other than that, not much really bothers me. You know, um, Not really much bothers me what my girls, or my kid does.
Sure. And that's such an interesting thing, because I'm the same. When my boys like fight, I'm like, listen, the rest of the world is going to try to fight with you. It's like, in this house, man, we got to just have love and support and build each other up, you know?
Yes, that's my thing, and I haven't been able to implement that with my girls yet. What I mean? But for some reason, man, my oldest one wants to let my youngest one know she's the King Kong, and the youngest one that doesn't take it, and then arguments, and they're just competitive,
Mm.
and I just I'm working towards it. So if you find some, if anybody has anything, please, man, contact me.
Right? That's absolutely right, man. So what, because we were just kind of talking about it before as well, that there's so much information so many resources for moms, right? What do you think is the thing that dads are lacking right now? Or like what value prop do you think that we need to add more to fathers in general?
So I think, man, we live in a world, right? Here's one thing that I've learned, and I had to correct myself. As a dad, I've learned that, time management is so essential to your life. And now, especially if you are a husband and you have children,
Mm,
okay? See, a lot of people don't manage their time and the day gets all messed up. Next thing you know, they're 50, they half-assing everything. They half-ass parenting, they half-ass work, they half-ass their workouts, and nothing really gets done, or everything gets done half-assedly. And in the beginning, that was me. I would go to work, but I wouldn't be as effective as I wanted to be at work. I would do some unproductive things. Next thing you know, I bring work home. Next thing you know, my kid is trying to talk to me, and I'm on the phone, or I'm trying to text, or I'm on an email. And in this day of technology and things like that, that bothers me. That bothers me. That kills me when I see parents that are with their kids and not paying attention to their kids. They're on their phone. That just kills me. So I've learned that, that's why I get up in the morning, like I was telling you. I get my workout when everybody is sleeping. I don't come home and, oh, I'm gonna go to the gym now. Bye guys. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna take that time away from that, right? So I do that while they're sleeping. I go to work and I give myself work time for the day. Say, hey, today I'm gonna work from 7 till noon. After that, when I'm done, I'm done. I'm going to be 100% present with the family. And I schedule that. Everything that I do is scheduled. I actually say, okay, family time from 2 to 7. It's my family time where I'm going to come in and be with the family,
mm,
you know, and that's what I want. That's what I want to show, that if you're a dad, if you're going to be with your children don't need any more presents. They need more presence.
Brother, we gotta let that sit there because dads need to hear that.
Look, none of my kids give a damn about my Ferrari. None of my kids give a damn about my Lamborghini or the car or the mansion or my jewelry, or not. I don't give a damn about it. Well, you know what they give a damn about? Daddy, would you sit down and just watch a cartoon with us? And just sitting there, just watching cartoons without my phone going off, without me being on the phone, makes all the difference in the world. So remember, you want to play the right game. See, a lot of us dads sometimes we're playing the wrong game.
Mhm.
You know, they say, "Oh, well, I'm doing this for the family. I'm working so I can feed the family. I can do this and that." You know what? Don't lie to yourself. You're working with your family, in front of your kids because you weren't productive. You didn't get the shit that you were done when you're supposed to. Okay? If you get up in the morning 2-3 hours before everybody else, you get all your shit done. So when you're with your kids, you can be with your kids. Pay attention to them. Be their coach, be their dad, be their confidant, be somebody they listen to, somebody they feel comfortable coming talk to you about things, and later on they become teenagers. It'll be very important.
Mhm.
So don't let social media and emails and text and all that kind of stuff take the number one thing away from you. You know, I realized, man, that I became crystal clear when I got divorced on how I want to spend my time. Okay. And here's are exactly in the order of how I want to spend my time. And every waking activity, every waking hour of the day is dedicated to these three things. Number one priority is to spend time with the family. And what I mean spend time is, I mean spend time and be present. Not spend time with Instagram, not spend time with, work call, this, and that, and all that kind of stuff. That's number one. Number two, provide for them. And number three, stay healthy so I can do one and two. So either with the family, like I said, no phones, no things like that. Okay, either with the family, making money for the family, working, or in the gym, staying healthy, so I can run around with these motherfuckers when they become teenagers. They're not gonna wake up, so I can still whoop their asses when they get older.
I love that, dude. I love that. I love that. You know, that's what it's like. Talking about some of the stuff like the Wim Hof and all this stuff. It's like, people, why are you doing this? Because, man, here's the thing. I can tell my kids to be healthy, or I can show them how to be healthy.
Yeah, they do what you do, not what you tell them to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's crazy. They are a recording machine. They are listening. They are taking in everything that you do. My 6-year-old out of the blue the other day said, "Daddy," and then she was going like this, "Daddy," like this. I'm like, "Where did she learn that?" Then I was like, "Oh, that's something I do." I'm like, why is she like pumping her face like that? And I'm going like, wait a second, that's what I do. You know what I mean? And then and she was like, "Daddy, we should like open a business." And then maybe we should just like, open up a lemon stand, or maybe open up a gym, and maybe we can. She started talking about all these things. I'm like, what the hell does she like kind of come up with this stuff, right? And my 10-year-old came the other day, and she was dancing, and I'm going like, why is she moving her jaw like that? And then I'm like, oh, that's what I do, because I got that white man overbite when my jam comes on, and she just mimicking what I do. I'm like, I gotta stop that. I'm like, I gotta stop my white man overbite when my jam comes on, because she's doing it and it doesn't look good. I'm like, what? I'm like, is something wrong with her jaw? Why is she doing it? I'm like,
and then dude, how funny is it when you catch it in that aha moment, like, oh, that's me. That's a mirror of me. Like, it's too much. All right, bro. I got 2 more things here. One final question, but before I do that, I actually just started this. So it's like this little like deck of cards, right? And it's just called "What's the Word?" Super random things, man. Okay. Because one of the big principles I like to implement with my friends, my family, is like just getting past the surface level. I'm so tired of surface level conversations. They go nowhere. They mean nothing. Might as well just be on social media with some random people, if that's the case, talking about shit that doesn't really matter, right? So this kind of does a little deep dive, random questions, and it allows, like I do this, like I said, around the table, because it's like, I want to know, man. I want to know really about you. I don't care about what sports team did what today or what the weather's like and stuff. I want to know from people like really what matters. Like, why are they the way they are? Like, so I'm going to just take this, brother. You just tell me when to stop.
Stop.
All right, we're stopping. We're going to grab this card. Okay. Oh, you ready for this, Sam?
All right, let's go.
All right, baby, let's do this. Okay. How are you making a difference in the world?
I'm making a difference by helping people with their number one problem. And the number one problem for most people, they don't realize it, is their health. Health is greater than wealth. Okay? Because you can have all the wealth in the world, but if you're not healthy and you're not functioning properly and you're not able to move around, then that doesn't really matter. So with my programs, my companies, I help people get in shape. And to me, if you want to be performing at your highest level, I don't care if you're a garbage man. I don't care if you're a CEO. I don't care if you're a president of the United States. I don't care if you're a pastor. I don't care if you're an Uber driver. Until you're mentally sharp, because through your body, mind, and exercising, then you're not giving your world your best version.
I love that. I love it, dude. We need more of that mind frame out there right now, brother. We really do. I think that we've lost that big time. We've lost the sense of how important it is to take care of your body in those levels. And I think that exactly, that's why you have the success you have, though, is because you realize that if you build others, ultimately in the end it'll be fine.
Tony Robbins said, "Success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure." And I couldn't agree with that more. You know what I mean? Success is cool. You get to where you want to go, whatever, this and that. That's cool. But if you never help anybody along the way, what an empty place that is.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Some of the biggest fulfillment and joy in my life is helping people. Whether it's with their weight loss, whether it's with their business, whatever I've done coaching them, nothing fulfills me more when somebody says, Sam, oh my God, because your program, I lost 100 pounds and now I can run around with my children. I couldn't even go up a flight of stairs with them. I felt like I was a bad dad. I was always tired. Nothing fulfills me more when, somebody comes to me and said, Sam, because of your program, thank you so much, man. We weren't able to go on vacations now. Now I'm able to take my kids to vacation and have them enjoy a good life.
Mm-hmm.
Those are, you can't fabricate that. You can't fabricate, there's nothing that beats that.
Mm. So before the final, I know I said just two more questions. There's one thing though that you talked about that I also implement as well when I'm out working out. I listen to audiobooks. And I was going to ask you originally, I was like, oh man, I wonder what kind of music do you like when you're working out? But I see you as being a man who just likes to keep educating, keep filling that mind. So is there anything that is there a book that recently you're listening to right now on audio while working out or doing your walks that you would recommend for?
So I mean, to me, I always like to maximize my productivity. Part of my goals this year was to work out every day and to listen or read 100 books. Mm-hmm. So I book 1 hour a day for me to read, sit down and read. And while I work out, I listen to audiobooks. So today, I finished Unshakable by Tony Robbins.
Yes.
And that was my second time. Mm-hmm. The first time I read it, this time I listened to it, and I was taking notes. I mean, nice notes, man. I was like, wow, I listened to it again. I'm like, I must have missed that. Like there was stuff that I'm like, wait a second, man, this is good stuff. I wrote it down. And then I started another audiobook called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
Mm-hmm. Great book also.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Yes. I love that. All right, brother. So I appreciate your time and all this. One final thing that I want to ask you, my man, if you had to give your daughters and son one piece of advice in life, what would that be?
It's funny you say that because I'm working on what I call the commandments for them right now. As a matter of fact, it's right there on that table.
Okay.
There's something called. I want you to Google. It's called Kikish Credo, and the guy's name is David Kikish. Is Kekish, I believe, and he came up with a list of 100 things that he learned in life that you need to be successful, for you to master life, if you will. And I told myself, what a great gift I can give my children to say, hey, look, based on my experience in this life, these are 100 things that I want to give you for you to go out there and if you live by these commandments, I think every problem that you have, everything, you can come back to these commandments and there's an answer here for you, And so I'm working on that. I'm on number 20 right now, of my own. But I would say if I had to give them one piece of advice, I'll give them two. Because, one is hang around people that you want to be like, that you aspire to be. So proximity is power. So it's hard to do the right thing in a wrong environment. So if you want to be a millionaire, be around a millionaire. If you want to, whoever you want to be, surround yourself with that. You can't be a millionaire if you hang around drug dealers and broke people. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that's number one of us. I wish I knew that when earlier. I would have been a billionaire, not a millionaire. Second advice is always delay gratification and do the hard thing. Mm-hmm. And that's the whole thing about the 1% brand, because 99% of people want the easy route. 99% of people want to take the elevator. 1% of people want to take the hard route, want to take the stairs, and I want you to always do the hard thing and learn to delay gratification. Delay gratification simply means this. And this is something that's been studied and is one of the number one reasons for people's success is giving up something right now for something greater later. And most people want immediate gratification, not delayed gratification. Mm-hmm. And that's why 99% of people, I hate to say it, will end up fat and broke. Because all of a sudden they want to get in shape, but all of a sudden they want to have nachos and pizza and beer. They can't delay that gratification. They want to save money so they can invest money, but they also want to, get iPhone 57, Air Jordan 72s, and, they want to get another watch in their collection. Hmm. What do you want to do? If Warren Buffett said that if you want to be successful, look at what the 99% are doing and go the opposite. It's really up to you.
I absolutely love that. Sam, your time, your insight, your stories about fatherhood is going to add so much value, brother. I appreciate your time. What is the best way for the dads that are listening to this episode to follow you or get in touch with you?
So, you can just Google my name. All my, social media accounts is my name, Sam Bakhtiar, Sam, and then Bakhtiar is Bakhtiar. Also, you can text me directly at 909-200-4015. That's 909-200-4015.
Excellent, brother. Thank you again, seriously, for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Thomas. It's my pleasure.